there's a teleporter, and so they just teleport back home. And my man Kelvin bought a house in this economy. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
Just a little joke there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hey,
But
listen, it's rough out here. You got the money, I don't. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Irbal Sinergy's The Shop. I'm your host, Sinji, and with me, of course, my boy, Irby.
what up?
What's up, Irby? What's up, Irby? I lost him. 2 seconds in.
Oh,
And
I
there you
said,
go.
what's up? Yeah, I was like, somehow my thing got muted. Don't know why I got muted. Interesting.
I heard the first what's up, and I heard nothing else.
Yeah, weird. I didn't touch nothing. It just went to muted.
I thought you were messing with me. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I was talking. I'm like, dang, what happened? Yeah, I guess the ghost might got me or something.
Shit. Perhaps.
Yeah, but anyhow, yeah, make it do what it does. The usual.
Chill. You got a flavor this week, dog?
Yeah, yeah. Um, so much, so little time. Uh, yeah, I was thinking about showing Jin Woo some love this week.
A word?
So, yeah,
You
my
talking about
man.
Sung Jinwoo?
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. Is there popcorn nearby? There is, but it'd probably fuck up my stomach right now. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Nah. Yeah, my boy, he figured out the whole labyrinth and stuff, and they still left him to die. I'm like, y'all terrible people. But you kind of had to see it coming though, because in order for him to progress as a character, he kind of needed that power up. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that shit gets crazy.
it does. Man's figuring out powers. The one nurse wants to use him because she done figured out he's something special.
Hey
So
man, hey listen. Let me get that number. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, he's like, oh, they're gonna call me for stuff. I was like, my boy's pretty daft. He doesn't know anything.
I keep forgetting to implement this, but I had a idea a couple weeks ago while watching Classroom of the Elite. I was like, we should reference these quotes on these episodes because it seems like every episode just has a quote in the beginning.
They are, and they're special. I'm like, oh, that's a good one to live by.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I started writing. I wrote season 2, episode nine's quote down, and I think I'll try to get them all and just erase them as we say them
Hmm.
per episode. But season 2, episode nine's quote was, "If you make a mistake and don't correct it, this is called a mistake."
Yeah, I thought that was a good one.
I was just like, these are some bangers of some quotes. It was similar to something I wanted to do. So
Yeah,
like,
I was like, oh man, dang, look at this. Shoot.
yeah,
Yeah, good ones. I enjoyed that episode this week too.
yeah. If I had something close to a flavor, it'd be how cold Ayano Koji is with the blonde girl with the ponytail,
Yeah,
when like he's actually made an effort to make friends, and I was like, damn. Meanwhile, this girl has a whole crush on you.
I think that's more to do with the fact that like he wanted to break free from his father, and then he found out he was doing what his father was doing to him to further his own means, and how the teacher also was using him. And so he's like, yeah, I think he kind of seen that like I'm no better off than them, and I think his whole purpose was trying to show that he was better off than them in a way. But I don't know. It just left a lot to be explained and questioned. So
Yeah, I'm quite well. We now know that like their relationship is gonna progress because the guy from Class C has already made a note that she's gonna be a target.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get involved, and maybe she'll have the guts to be a little more open about her feelings. I don't know. I doubt he feels the same. The man just looks dead inside all the time.
That man look just like you, dog.
Stop. Stop.
Man, just cold. I was like, dang.
I can only
Mm.
wish to be a portion of that man.
It's a portion. You like 110% him.
Yo, nah, man. The dude came out the meeting with his dad and the other homie that found the teacher and was like, everything you told me was bullshit. I confirmed it. I will no longer
Yeah.
be helping.
I was like, ooh, okay. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, my man, you go. I ain't mad at you, dog. You gotta do you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good episode, though.
4,000 IQ. I can't wait to the next episode. This is it's not actiony, but like it's really good. It's not like talentless Nana and things like that. Like at the end of the day, they're a bunch of school kids, but like the mental chess game that Ayano Koji Kun plays, it was just like, oh, how's he gonna turn this around? Oh, that was great. That was smart. This man's a genius,
Yeah, it's talentless Nana without the powers.
which is
I would
perfectly
say.
fine.
Yeah, it like you don't notice how quick it goes, and you're like, oh man, you're like, dang, how did that one he get out of that, or how did I see that one coming?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I do enjoy the ones with mental chess games. But you know, they listed as a slice of life.
The classroom of the elite is a slice of life.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I know.
I thought it'd be like psychological thriller or some shit.
Yeah. What I looked at it somewhere, and it was like, oh, slice of life, and I was like, what? This ain't no slice of life.
Yeah, because I almost feel like the how ruthless he was, and knowing the guy that helped him escape died. And it was like, oh, was I supposed to care about that? I was like, okay, yeah, my
Yeah.
man, cold blooded. I like it.
He don't care about nothing. I'm like, oh man,
But like, I
wowzers.
almost have a feeling he has killed someone.
Yeah. I just feel like he may care too much. That's why he doesn't show his caring side. Cause that's how people get you when you care too much.
I just think he's so involved in like securing his freedom. Maybe he like puts a cage around himself.
A nice little facade to keep out people from saying what he wants them to see.
Yeah, because he
So
probably has. Well, there's probably is not a good word for it, but like he seems like he has the potential to be number one in every single thing.
no doubt he would have beat the whole student body president guy if it wasn't for someone tripping and falling at the finish line. So
Yeah, not to mention that the grip test he went off of Musclehead's numbers and ended up being more than average, and he controlled it to get there.
yeah, he
So
definitely gripped it. Was like,
his grip is
uh,
definitely a lot stronger than he let on.
yeah,
He's a freaking genius. He probably hit straight fucking S's. Like they'd have to go beyond A plus for him.
yeah,
And he's physically capable. So I don't know. It'd be nice to see him applying all of his capabilities.
yeah. But he won't.
Nah, that's just not his niche.
Nope.
So what should we start it off with, man? You wanna bang out Jujutsu Kaisen since it was pretty much a slap Maki in the face episode?
Yeah, we knocked it out real quick. Not much there. We find out the Sumo guy's simple domain, and I feel like these people that showed up, they were just teachers to teach something real quick. Pass by. Like I don't think they were being malicious in any intent or anything. So
What was interesting was Reaper dude was just watching.
yeah, and then like she Maki when she's squaring off with Sumo guy, she comes to like the realization that like oh, I never had anyone ever show me the ropes or show me anything. Like I never thought of having a teacher to help me get stronger or whatever. And then the guy's like, "What's wrong with you? Why can't you focus?" And so like he's like, "Oh, I can't do a good job explaining it. Like you'll just have to fill this out in the ring." And then so like he basically taught her what she was missing, like how the old guy had it. So I was like, "Oh, she learned."
Maki gotta learn, bro. Maki can't die. I already lost one of the good female characters in this show.
I don't know if she's dead yet.
She
She's
pretty sure she's dead.
she's just on a hiatus.
Or doesn't have a face, like the guy in Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah. Or there might be what if they stopped her state of being and like because I think what she didn't die instantaneously? What if she suffered for like 1 second and then they find a new sorcerer that can go back in time like at max like 5 seconds and they bring her back to life that way because at the point of there's isn't there one guy that heals them at the point of whatever so that they won't get hurt anymore. So what if whether he was
I
able to
don't know
stop them?
about that, but you know what I just thought?
No, there was a guy. It was the Raven guy's uh brother.
Yeah, yeah, but question for you. Do you
Hmm.
recall how the Reaper guy from the Zenin clan? No, it's the Zenin clan. What clan is Maki a part of? The Zenin clan, right?
Yeah,
Do you remember how that guy became a cursed being?
because his Maki's mother killed him, and he had so much disdain for him.
I thought it wasn't because a human killed him. I thought it was because like a cursed object killed him or something.
Yeah, she might have.
Because then I was thinking like, well, Nabarro died due to a cursed being. If they didn't do anything with her body, could like she be reborn, almost like um, Homie with Rika?
Could be. I don't know. They probably could use her, but yeah. But she might be dead. She might not be dead.
Yeah, she might be dead.
Yeah,
She might be dead.
I doubt it.
Nobara.
Yeah, she might be. Who knows? I'll hold my breath. I just keep it moving. Can't worry about the little things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, yeah. Little things slow you down like that. Got to keep it moving, keep it pushing, keep it 100,
All right.
full speed ahead.
Since we're banging out the ones with not too much, I'll go ahead and talk about a little bit of Tact op.Destiny.
What? There's a whole lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, but not really.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like it could have been a lot, but like it wasn't a lot to like think about.
Yeah, it went by real fast.
Mm-hmm. So episode 4, let's the performance begin. Showtime. Lenny is teaching Tact and Destiny how to harmonize, and they wind up running into a guy that Lenny knows, and he invites them over to the new town, Las Vegas. Well, they
Las
have
Vegas.
yeah, man. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
No, it goes with you everywhere.
Damn. So they ended up eating at this couple's house, and Lenny disappears to talk to the owner of the town, and whips out a whole bunch of cash. Turns out this dude had a secret casino going on, and Destiny caught a sense of vibrations and ended up breaking this poor couple's side of the house. No one tried to stop her, but by the way, well, actually, I think Anna did.
She did, but she's like, I tried to told you you need to do this and the other, and she just was like, oh,
Yeah, open the window. Just jump out the window first.
yeah.
Anyways, they go there and like it's just a bunch of gambling going on. They're being shot at. Some D2s show up, and Lenny decides here's gonna be your final and important lesson for me. The first lesson: kill the D2 on the right with only 2 shots, and control your output so that you don't destroy it everywhere. So they do that. Tact has Destiny shoot the creature's leg first, and then shoots it in the face. And then Lenny is like, lesson two: use your sword to cut down that one. They do that. She kind of like again goes for the leg and then stabs it in like some weird gill looking thing in its back. And then Lenny goes, lesson three: use everything I showed you to perfectly harmonize and kill the last one. So she uses the sword to fend off the creature, and then hops up in the air and then delivers a kill shot from above. And Lenny praises them. They say their goodbyes, and off we go into the sunset, heading
Yeah,
towards New York,
check out the corrupt enterprise.
where dreams are made of. And it seems like Lenny was after the people that was helping the owner fund Las Vegas.
Yeah, he was like he knew what they were doing, but
Mm-hmm.
had to go about it like a roundabout way.
He's he seems it seems like these music carts, no, music carts are the wrong thing. Maestros are not only fighting D2s, but they're involved in political injustice as well.
Yep, yeah. But I don't know if political is the right term.
I don't know. That's kind of
I
how
mean, did they
it
get?
operates, right? Like,
I mean,
you,
they did get public funding, but I mean they publicly were doing what they said, kind of, but then they were just funneling like the profits into the casino. So I don't know. It could be political, but mob. I would just say mob related stuff.
hmm,
Yeah,
fair enough. So, what
being
shall we talk
dishonest to
about
the
next,
people.
my good sir?
We could get to see what old Senji's doing this week on Black Summoner.
Oh, is that his new name?
Yeah, dog, that man.
He had no villainous
Yeah,
behavior the last 2 episodes.
not that you know of. That's only what made the editing floor. So, so yeah. So this week on Black Summoner, returning to Parth and the goddess arrives. So this episode continues where it left off last week with the heroes. He's trying to train them,
Now,
and
when you saw him training them, because it was clear that he was training them, why did you think he was training them? Because I had a theory and I was wrong.
uh, I thought he trained them just so they could get better, stop being weak.
I thought he was training them so he wouldn't have to like get involved with any hero shenanigans.
That too. That was one of them. Yeah, but then there's another thought of school of thought that went in there too, uh, from Sarah, which I'll get into here shortly. So Kelvin, so Sarah asks him why he's actually training them, and he's like, "Oh, aren't these the heroes Malfina chose?" And they're like, "Also, they're from my homeland." And I'm still like, "Man, you don't know where your homeland is because you ain't got no memory."
That's all I was like. I was like, bro. Okay, so he's training them because they're from his home, but he shouldn't really remember his home.
Exactly. Like I told you last week, I was like, I'm not understanding this. It's like they hit on a good idea and then they forgot. Unless like you said, it was just like strictly he forgot his own senses or whatever, like what he was, but can remember everything else.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like it's almost as if he remembers everything about his previous life that doesn't involve other people.
Yeah. So So then Sarah, she's like, "Oh, I thought you were just training them so that uh, you can fight them again later." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Fight them again later." So, so then they get to talking again, and he asks him. He's like, "Oh, what would you do if you encountered an S rank monster?" It's like, "What would you do?" He's like, "Oh, I have to run away." And he's like, "Well, if you run, people get hurt." And Toyo's like, "I don't care what they would say about me or whatever." He's like, "I'm not putting my teammates in harm because we weren't strong enough to defeat the monster." And he's like, "I won't fight reckless battles or jeopardize my team and put them in harm's way." And he's like, "Oh, good answer." And then Sarah, she fished up an S-class monster in the dungeon. So then Kelvin and the crew go handle it. So I was like, "Oh, that's a nice segue." Because at first I was like, "Oh, they finna fight this monster that just came up." And Kelvin was like, "Nah, I got this, kiddos. Relax." So, so yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then so we skip down the road, skip the loop. Kelvin asked Gerard if he thinks that he could defeat the people that destroyed his land, and he was like, "Oh," he lost this long monologue, and it's like, I don't think I could. I didn't think it was possible before, but we got some strong people now, and it's the parties and this, and I think we can do it. So I was like, "Oh, that's nice." And then also, we discovered that the pendant that Kelvin had given him earlier was actually a mild stat boost and had one more secret function.
That they're
And
hoping he's hoping they don't have to use.
yeah, and I don't
I
know
wonder
what the
what it could
function
be.
is. It might be like, um, I don't know if he could do revive magic, but it's probably one of the functions that like if the lives are in danger or something, like he'll automatically show up.
That's what I was thinking. Like he'll appear.
Yeah, or when they're like, or when something's like, "Oh, we can't do this. He's too strong. We can't defeat him." Or it might be like a
Maybe
spell.
maybe it triggers
Yeah,
a spell.
yeah, like a spell that's too high for them to handle by themselves. Like it gauges like the level of the monster and their level, and then it's like, "Oh, time to call Kelvin in."
Hmm.
So that's what I was thinking. I don't know, speculating. And now the king wants to seize them, Kelvin and the crew. But King also hails from a distant land. And turns out it's not even a king, but a queen. And it's Tsubaki Fujiwara. And my man knew how to take off his shoes because, like, oh, this is a tatami mat. Let me take off my shoes.
Yeah, very Japanese environment they're in right now.
Yeah. And how he would know to do that is beyond me, but I digress. So then we find out that normally such big exploits of defeating monsters and villains and such would get him a celebration, but it's like, oh, since a hero was involved, we gotta keep this hush hush. And he's like, "I'll give you whatever you want, just name it." And he's like, "Oh, I want some rice. That's all I want." And she was like, "Oh, that's it?" She's like, "I'll give it to you for the free." So that's what he did. Then they prefer a banquet in Effu. She learns the Japanese cooking so that she can cook for him later. And the queen also invited him to stay and work for her. And she asked Kelvin to be her personal caretaker and take care of whatever she needs, day or night.
From day to night, she said,
Yeah,
"You can have this."
yeah. He's like, "Nope, I'm sorry, I gotta go. I like being an adventurer."
Now, this marks the first time that something happens that was kind of weird. Because it happens again a little later when we're back home in Parv. The camera shows like a portion of Ethel,
Hmm.
and then like Kelvin has this like panicked reaction. So like I can't tell if like Ethel was having like a jealous face on or getting mad or something, but like the way the camera worked both scenes really made it seem that way. And you probably know the other scene I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't. She may not have gotten mad, but like she might have looked hurt.
Yeah,
Cause
it was just like they just showed her lower, like they showed everything but her face in those two moments. I'm just like, did I mean he looked at her and panicked. So like, was her face doing something? I don't really understand this camera angle.
yeah, because I think normally when someone gets angry or enraged, they start getting a little aura about them. So I would say she was hurt or like displeased. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so then let's see, yeah, yeah. So then they get to the gate and there's a teleporter, so they just teleport back home. And my man Kelvin bought a house in this economy. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
Just a little joke there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hey,
But
listen, it's rough out here. He got the money. I don't.
yeah, so he bought the castle, and he hired a woman and a child that they saved that were slaves, Ellie and Luca. And then Melfina comes back, and he could summon her.
Oh, she's a beauty.
Yeah, she alright. She alright.
She's
And then so
angelic.
yeah, so then Melfina gets introduced to the group, and Gerard's like, "Oh, I thought you had a new mistress." And Melfina said, "Oh, I'm not a mistress. I'm his wife."
Gerard just wants to know which lady is he gonna be sharing his living quarters with.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. It's funny there. So, and then he also received the grace and her was it Fairy's grace or Fire Dragon Fairy's grace? Uh,
Reincarnation, goddess of reincarnation grace.
Yeah, and then so once a month you could prevent one fatal wound that happened to you, and your second ability is you can summon heroes.
Now, does that first ability really seem that OP? Because they made it sound like it was OP. I'm like, there's an entire month cooldown. You're an adventurer. Your life might be in danger more than once a month, my dude.
Well, with him and his abilities, I feel like the real struggle is like when he takes on a super powerful monster, where like
And he's a
where
battle junkie. He wants to take on like super powerful monsters. I'm like, bro,
yeah.
once a
So
month.
like the thing is though, if he were to take on one, it would have to be one that would kill him. Like when I guess like the spectrum of how I viewed it is he always can win every fight, but this has to be a fight where he most certainly can't win.
Hmm.
But like he has to fight for some reason. So
And
like he
another thing is, the once a month wording was weird to me. Like, is it just like, okay, let's say he does it on the 25th of January. Is it gonna reset on February 1st,
February 1st,
or
yeah.
do you have to wait till February 25th to get the ability again? Like, do you have to wait a month after you use it, or do you literally get it on the first of every month?
See. I was thinking like the first of every month.
That no, no, that's weird.
Yeah,
Cause
it's
I was
weird to
thinking
me
it was a
longer.
cooldown. So like,
I feel like if they might have said 30 days, that might have been different because that's like a cooldown for real.
right, right.
But
But the way
once a
the
month is
ability
like
sounded, it almost sounded like it was a ability with a cooldown. I don't know. It was weird.
yeah, once a month is well, it also depends on I don't know their calendar dates, what they do. If every month they have is 30 months or 31, or if it's like 25 days in a month or something, or some do like 20 months and so I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's they'll have to tell more about it. So then we get to flash to Sarah and Mel training, but they're not actually training. They're fighting for the right to sleep next to Kelvin.
Which I
So
didn't think Sarah saw Kelvin like that, but hey,
yeah. So so then Kelvin asks Melfina why they need heroes, and then she explains about the Demon King and how it's an actual cycle for him to be reborn, like regardless of what they do. And he has a special skill called papayas,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, and
Which multiplies your evil and the evil within you to the point where it warps your personality. But Sarah's father didn't seem like a bad person.
yeah,
But it also makes all damage you take nullified.
yeah, about people in that world.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel that he might not have been evil, or at least not in the way that people see, but
Oh, you're thinking
pe-
if there was no evil in him, there was nothing to multiply?
yeah, but he was trying to make the world safer for his daughter, and he had enemies that was attacking his kingdom.
Right, right.
So like he might have been good, but killed for the wrong reasons per se, because he's a demon king because he had the power.
Okay,
So
okay. I can live with that.
yeah. So, but yeah, we find out that the reason why they do summon the heroes is because they're inherently different, and that's why they could do damage to demon kings.
Yeah, and like she needed to explain all this to him because Calvin was feeling I would say it not bittersweet but like conflicted cuz like
Apprehensive,
yeah, he
had
wasn't too sure about
qualms.
forcing someone into this world. So she had to explain there's two types of summoning heroes. One where you literally teleport living people from the heroes.
Teleport, yeah, you can teleport. Teleport, you can get a whole bunch of heroes.
Yeah, and
Or
it costs less
reincarnation, you just get
MP.
yeah, reincarnation, you get one strong one. So
Well, actually, I think she when he was gonna summon, she asked him how many people does he want to summon.
yeah,
So I just think it costs more MP. I don't know.
well he used all the MP he had on that one, but I think the
Mm-hmm.
MP might just be a measure of strength. Like you can get a whole bunch of them for MP, like he had before. If you're going to do teleport, or you can just do the reincarnation one strong one because you she said you just pick one soul and it's one soul at random.
Mm-hmm.
So then it happens. Did you notice how there's like a Dragon Ball theme ish type music?
Yeah, I noticed that, and like what I
It's like, oh,
didn't
that,
notice is the gender of this kid until she started crying.
oh yeah, I knew right away. I was like, oh, it's about a little girl.
Well, I thought it was gonna be a girl, but then it kind of looked like a boy, and then it was dressed like he was, and it was crying. And I was like, oh, it's a girl. Rio is a
Yeah,
girl.
definitely thought. I was like, oh, yeah. After she starts playing, I was like, yeah, she might have had some bloodborne disease that kept her there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Summon Rio, she was sickly as a child, and she used to read books about adventure. And she's so happy to be there and run and feel the grass and do all sorts of stuff outdoorsy. And the backstory is she is his half sister.
Which
And then they,
that was kind of weird because he was like, since black hair isn't common in this area, we'll just pretend you're my sister who came looking for me. And I'm like, but her hair's brown.
well, if depending on what kind of genes that mix with, that's how you get the brown hair. Because if you mix like black with like let's say like blonde, you get like a dark brunette or something.
Hmm. Are
Yeah,
there
or
no
like
dark hair characters in that town?
um, I can't remember.
Me
Or
either.
if you mix like black and red, you might get a darkish brown ish somehow. It's weird how genetics work, but yeah. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and then they changed her name to Rion.
Not much of a change there.
Just added an N.
And I had one question while we were doing the summoning, and even at the end of the episode. Before they summoned Rio, who's now Rion, he canceled summon everyone: Melfina, Gerard, and Sarah. And you saw the three orbs of light go into him. Is Clotho still in the yard?
I don't know. Because I think at the end of the episode, he was rolling around,
He
right?
was just rolling. Yeah, he was. It seems like he was just playing outside by himself the whole time.
He was happy. I think he might have did it and then summoned him again later. I don't know.
Maybe.
A lot of stuff isn't clear or made clear. So
Oh
so
well.
yeah, that was it. Nice episode.
Yeah.
I think the new one just came out today too.
It seems to come out either Friday nights or Saturday mornings.
Yeah. So
Alrighty.
yeah.
Wise man's grandchild. Not too much on this one either. Episode 7. Let's go to camp. This episode, they start off fighting a demon bear, and with the help of our guys, the magicians, and then knights were able to slay him. And then you kind of got to see how all the other groups were progressing as a team. And the last group we saw, which was the three girls, let me see, I have their names. Maybe Alice, Corner, Lynn, and Yuri. I think those were the three girls. And I don't know. I actually don't know the kid with the white hair's name, but they kind of went overboard with taking care of the demons and
Taking care
huge
of
lightning spell.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, so we realized that everyone in Shin's study group is kind of a little too strong, and then August made the point with that since Shin won't be utilized for military gain, everyone in his study group most likely be what do you call that? Recruited into like a magic knight squad,
Mhm.
and it'll depend on if they can use their powers for good. But with that being said, the battle with Strong draws near, and they decide to do, since summer's coming up, a training camp under Shin's supervision that becomes under Shin's, Merlin's, and Melida's supervision. So it seems like the whole class is going to get a family lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, next episode should be entertaining. And then the episode after that should actually begin the action, I think.
Sure will.
Because the next one's episode 8, then 9, and then about 3 episodes to wrap up the season.
3 episodes to wrap off the season.
Yes, sir.
3 episodes. Hope it doesn't lose our reason.
No, sir.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I guess it's time to finish up with Tower of God season 3, episodes 124 to 131. So, man, just getting some good stuff here. Get your popcorn here. So,
124 to 131, you said, right?
yes.
Okay.
So it starts off by Yama asking Yes Ratcher for a favor, and then they start talking about Mad Dog's power and how it gets stronger the more it's suppressed. So I liken this to when Goku basically asked Vegeta to buy time against Majin Buu, and Vegeta proceeded to get the brakes beat off of him. he needed Yama needs 1 minute, and Yama's well, not Yama. Yasrach is mad that Yama trusts him enough to do this,
And it's not
and
even
he's like,
that Yama knew how to do it. It was more so that he saw, I think, the Mad Dog or Madhound, whatever you call that guy, do, and it's like, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. I'm the leader of the K9s.
yeah. So, so that happens, and he buys some time, and Hockney's group, he finds the commander, and Child makes a move to cut the guy off from fleeing again,
Mm-hmm.
and he knocks his head off, and we find that he's half beastkin and half machine, and his head's actually a bomb, and the bomb detonates. Dang, I'm like, oh snap! So then we flash to Chumare, and he tells Jin Sung he doesn't care about uh, him, and he was just a simple tool to manipulate Bam. And the family heads, we find out, have the ability to control all of humanity and creation, but they have certain restrictions, and it is humanity, I guess. And and so Trauma gives Bam a choice again. He's like, "Oh, you can get married and save everyone, or refuse, and everyone dies." And Jinsun was like, "Oh, I'm disgusted because I was like him at one point." He's talking about Chumare, and Bam still refuses. He's like, "I'd rather just fight." So then the warp gate activates, but the Kraken puts a stop to the movement, and Yama's all powered up now with the half body transformation, and Yama starts cutting up the Kraken, and then we get a Yes Stretcher flashback to when um, he let Doom live and told him to stay away and forget about revenge, and he's again reminds them of their father, the kiddos. And so then we flash to Cha where the bomb just went off and he's covering up the bomb. And so Sophia Tan shows up and saves everyone with some lighthouses. I'm like, oh man, I thought everyone was finna die.
Yeah,
Pulling a Demon Slayer.
there's a lot.
You
There's a
get a
lot going on
kill.
these eight.
Yeah. I was like, you get killed and you get killed like Demon Slayer. But anyhow, yeah, so she controlled the whole explosion and they say was it the rest of the crew embarks to save Bam, Cha and them, and so then was it Goose Stang shows up and they're mad. He's like, oh, you made me lead the book club, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna keep reading this book, and he says, I'm gonna read it to you, and the book is he's like, oh, would you look at that? The book is called Destruction. It proceeds to blow up stuff. And he's like, I wonder if I'll finish the book before y'all turn into ash. Or will your master appear and stop me first? I'm like, oh, my man, cold with it. That was almost like my flavor. So then we find out that Machine knows that the family head weakness is in the irregular Bam. I'm like, how does she know that? I guess you could sense the presence that left the building. Is that what you think?
That the weakness is the presence of Bam.
No, that the weakness of the family head is in Bam, i.e., he couldn't control that monster, so it's a weakness for him.
I don't think so. I think it's more so that Tremere. What I gather from Tremere's character is he likes control over. He's a control freak, right?
Hmm.
And a creature that he couldn't control was easily absorbed by Bam. Hot topic in the I guess around the family heads. So I guess Tremere just feels like if he controls Bam, he's somehow better off.
Yeah, are you strong? Because that monster got a whole lot of ability.
But it's also the fact that like Tremere said, "You will be the heir to my family." What? Not someone you gave birth to. The irregular that Jihad wants dead.
I don't think Tremere ever gave birth to anybody's.
I mean, probably not, but like there's a reason like you have the Ha family and his family and blah 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 things like that, right? Like someone's got to be giving birth to these people.
Yeah, that's his concubine and or women's he has,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not giving birth.
Oh no, okay, all right. You're nitpicking my statement. Fuck you, Irby.
I mean, the only males that I know that give birth are technically the seahorses. I mean,
Seahorses?
unless the man's a seahorse, yeah,
Hmm. I hear frogs
could
change
be.
genders when they want to mate.
No, they mostly change genders due to chemicals in the water.
It's still weird.
Yeah, yeah, it's a whole. It's no, it's like man-made chemicals that are in the water. That's what causes them to change genders. There's a whole study out there about that. Not gonna bore y'all with that, but yeah, nice little tidbit.
Just know we're
So
bad for the environment.
we're super bad. so so then a jihad lookalike comes in and talks to her. Similar. I'm not gonna say lookalike, but there's noticeable differences. And she asks who she is, and he says, "Oh, I'm just someone who is an actor behind the scenes." And he basically tells her to change the destination on a warp gate. And Yasracha and Yama launch their counter assault, and another big old monster comes on down. And they help and they try to get everyone into the fleet. Cha and the crew's there. They bust out to help Bam. Bam's power seeps out, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's something a little strong there." And so then Jinsung says, "Let's go." But Bam's like, I want to save the others. I got to save everybody because I'm Bam, and this is what I do: try to save everybody." And he tells them not to worry; they're strong. They'll figure a way out. So then Trauma figured out that the Leviathan is free, and then Yastrasha takes on Cobalt, but it's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so Yama goes help Yastrasha, and he's like, "Stay back, fool." And so my man Yastrasha is down to his last core, and then it breaks. He gets hit, so he's gonna die sometime.
Do you like Yasaracha's form?
It's just weird.
It is weird,
You
right?
you expect him to be like cat-like or something, but it's
Yeah.
not.
I mean, Yama's doesn't look dog-like when he gets closer to like the full transformation either.
Yeah, I don't know. I just be in there.
I don't know if Sesshomaru gave my expectations from like what they are because he had a giant dog form from
I don't know.
Inuyasha.
Yeah, but wasn't he part dog anyway?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yama's part dog and he turns into something weird. Yama's part cat and turns into something weird.
Yeah, I would say
Bam's
could be.
part OP and turns into a monster.
Yeah, it could be part of that mixed blood or something. Because dogs have 96 chromosomes, so somewhere along the line it could have been half dragon. I don't know.
True.
Yeah, so then um Trauma he releases a calamity on them, and he gets the news that Goose Dang is attacking his residence on the battleship, and he stops the calamity and heads towards the exit, and uh, gives the order to capture Bam alive and bring him to the warp ship. And Bam and Jinsun make it to the warp gate thanks to Karaka and Cha, and they think they are safe, but they're not. But Tamara is on the ship, and Hansung splits the warp gate into three pieces, and they warp, and uh, Lefebvre blows the gate, and then they're near the uh, Leo's Lopobia ship. So another little thing right there, getting ready to go up. So then Leo's, I'm gonna call it Lily for short, is wondering why she's the only one that had to be recalled back to the ship, and the family had left as well, and the warp destinations all changed, and apparently Bam and Kun are going to be separated again. They're in three separate locations, and the old
Uh,
almond, what?
where Kun ends up.
Yeah, there's more about that. But the Owlman, he's on the Poe Beto battleship, the Ark of Knowledge, and Khan is where Gustang is, and then Rachel and Yura Ha make a reappearance. I'm like, oh, this sadistic, conniving little wench here. So,
Damn.
so then Gustang, he wants the people on the ship captured alive, which is Cunningham's group, and they're gonna take the ship with them because there's another ship there that showed up, and Jin Sung is making a counteroffer to Tremare. He's like, "Oh, why don't you give Vio a choice? He gets to pick his partner." And he's like, "Oh, shut up, Bam! I'm just trying to buy time to the tournament that he has, and it's a tournament of power. Anyone could
Yeah.
participate." Bam's surprised, and Lily doesn't want to marry Bam. She just wants to kill him instead. I'm like, dang. And then we flash back to Yasuracha and Yama. Yama's yelling at him to wake up. And he's like, he wakes up and calls Yama a silly little mutt. And Yasuracha's like, I never want to get attached to any of you guys, but y'all made it hard for me not to get attached. So, well,
Deep
he
down,
did.
Yasaracha's a good guy. He's a good cat.
He's not.
Damn.
Cats are evil. Cats are the devil.
You're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong.
Nah, I'm kidding. Some cats are evil. Some cats are the devil. So yeah. Um, so then he asked him like, "Why y'all keep doing this? Like, why don't y'all just free yourself from it all? Like, forget about the revenge and whatnot." And yes, he's going to die a slow death. And they find out that they're in a land filled with beastkin, and there's a tamer, Fates, and he's making them advance towards the ship because I guess he's going to get them. And Lily shows up to kill Bam in his room, and she's like, "Oh, reports of Bam's feats have been greatly exaggerated." And so, yeah, well, no, let me rephrase that. And Dorsey, she got a memo or something and said that Bam died or whatever, and it was like, oh, reports of Bam's uh, death has been greatly exaggerated. And then we flip back to Lily, and she's attacking the boy Bam, and says she defeats you
Excuse
now.
me.
Bless you, child.
Thank you.
Yeah, so then she's attacking. It's like, if I defeat you now, I want to marry you. And he's like, oh, if I beat her now, then I'll have to marry her. So I don't know why Bam thinks that. And then Cha shows up, stop the blows, and then tells him, um, like the Slayer candidate or whatever might not be too hard. And he's like, "Oh, you got everyone to fight for you, and this, that, and the other." And she thinks he's lying. She thinks Bam's lying about his abilities because he always has people showing up. So you worry about your little precious candidate, huh? And
Didn't
so,
doesn't something else really important happen before this altercation?
like, what?
Like a very unpleasant appearance.
Yeah, I said Rachel and Uriha showed up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they made a reappearance.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, he wasn't listening to
Yeah, I
me.
missed the cue. I was like so ready to say fuck her, and I missed the cue.
Yeah, I said, Uriha and Rachel make their reappearance, but you missed it.
Yeah, my mind doesn't even want to acknowledge her. She still looks bad.
Yeah, it's evil. So then this is where Jin Sung told him part of his plan was have Bam enter the tournament himself and win his own freedom, just like how he did in the workshop. He could decide his own fate with the win. And they talk about some dude named Bellery. He's the next Pobido leader, maybe. I don't know. and so then Rachel's texting somebody, and they get a photo of Kun, and she's like, can I interest you in a slave?" And I'm like, "That's terrible,
Yeah, you
slave."
you should see my man's reaction in a couple chapters.
Yeah. And then she's like, "I want to see him die slowly in a cage." I'm like, "You ought to die slowly in a cage."
Oh
Yeah.
man, fucking bitch. I don't know. I like the last few chapters, but seeing Rachel was just like, I could do without this.
Yeah, she's terrible.
She's a great heel. She's a great bad character.
Yeah. She needs to be better, be a better person. She needs to go work on herself.
But that's fine. Kun wants to kill Rachel too, and I can't fault her for wanting to kill Kun. Because with given the opportunity, Kun would probably kill Rachel as well.
Mm.
But
Oh boy, here go killing again.
Kun's
But
reason
what?
stems from Rachel betraying Bam. Rachel's reason stems from Kun's reason, which is no real justified reason for Rachel other than self defense.
Yeah. So, mm. But yeah, Rachel had to do what she had to do, and she was being self-centered and very Sinji like when she did what she did to gain her new powers.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, you would.
I
You
wouldn't.
would. You did. Just like how
I would
how I
not
was.
betray my friends.
You did every time when we played One Piece, and I used to do all that work to get that super so I could use it, and you would use it
But
before I
we'd
could use
still win
it.
together.
Nah,
There's a difference. There is a
you
difference.
jacked up my my
Besides,
win
we'd have to
total,
be. We'd
my
have to.
kills.
If we were on the same team, we'd have no choice but to be like. I think two different types.
Mhm,
Either you'd be
mhm.
like. You'd probably want to be the light bearer.
Nah, I want to get my hands dirty.
Oh.
Nah, I have no idea. I probably would be the cun like one.
Yeah, I'd want to be a wave controller.
Lighthouses. Information is power. But yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
Two more chapters and you
Wrapped it up.
catch up.
Oh yeah, no, I finished them. I just ain't did them.
Oh, okay. Next week.
Nah, I'm kidding.
That's it. That's all. We're done.
Yeah,
No,
I got one show that I thought was pretty interesting, but also a little bit weird at times.
smut
Uh,
weird or just weird.
it's you once you watch it, you'll figure out what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, it's the irregular at Magic High School.
Oh,
You
I've
might have
watched
read
it.
it.
The brother
Yeah,
sister thing.
yeah, the whole dynamic is weird.
Yeah, I
I'm like,
started season two. I forgot to continue watching, but
oh,
yeah.
I'm about to finish season two right now. I got 3 episodes left.
Oh, my man binged it. Season two good? As good as season one?
Yeah, I do like how they leave you like intrigue. You're like what? Why is this? What's going on with that? Why did that happen?
I mean, I drew
Y-
my own conclusions and like kind of just assumed they're not actually related, just to justify her obsession with him.
Me too.
I was like, I'm
But
just gonna
then,
assume you guys aren't actually related.
but they always say, "Oh, but me and my brother are related by blood." I'm like, okay, is
And
that blood by marriage or
bro, that one
blood?
episode that like she, I guess, wanted to give him a massage or something, and
You
she
talk
was,
about when he was at the computer and he's
yeah,
mad,
yep,
and he was like, "Oh, I don't see you in that light or something," and she like knocked him out, and he used his regenerative powers to come back. I'm like, huh?
yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong with her?
Sissy's got a bro complex.
Yeah, something. And so I was like, oh,
Like
it
I
gets
forget his
worse
name,
though.
but the guy from Black Clover with the magic mirror eye.
I know who you talk about. Klaus?
Nah,
No,
it's
is
not
that Klaus?
Klaus. It's
I have no
shit.
idea.
I know the sister's name is Madi.
Yeah. I
Fuck.
know who you're talking about though.
Yes, him. But
Yeah,
yeah, the irregular at Magic High School. It's pretty good. I should continue watching season 2.
yeah. It's pretty. Yeah. There's another part. I was like, okay, y'all pushed the envelope a little too much here,
What in season
but
2? Because
yeah,
yeah, all right, I gotta watch it.
I'm like, okay, but yeah, season two is good. I just one day I was like, let me just keep watching this, and I just watched it,
Mm-hmm.
watched it, and watched it. Because it was supposed to be my workout show, but then I was like, you know what, this is kind of good. Let me go ahead and just watch this.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, share us at wherever you listen to us on. And we'll catch you next week. Oh, don't forget, next week we got to see if our boy's available because next week marks episode 80, I believe. Does it? Or 88?
It's 80
It is
because
80?
this is 79.
This is 79. We got to see what we got to do.
Yeah,
Peace!
figure it out. Peace.